What's up, freak bitches?
Hello, freak bitches.
I've been watching a bunch of videos. Doing research, basically watching videos, researching all day, doing a little YouTube research, a little cigar research. And I determined that the Zycar lighter, you really can't beat it. You're gonna need the Zycar lighter. Possibly, you could go with a Lotus lighter if you wanted a bit of a higher end finish, but the bang for the buck is not there. And the reliability is not there, quite frankly, on the Lotus lighter. I would not go with ST DuPont at this point, okay? They're no longer made in France, they're made in China. How are you gonna have a gold luxury lighter that's made in China? I don't think so, okay? I don't go with ST DuPont anymore. All right, so I've been watching lighter reviews. There's this channel, I think it's lightersdirect.com or something, but it's on YouTube. You search for Lighters Direct and they have sexy models showing off the lighters. I don't watch porn anymore. I do watch the Lighters Direct videos. But I've been watching these Google, even saying the fucking name, you say the name Google, and for that instant that you're saying it, you're on your knees, shuffling around with your pants around your ankles, basically getting turbo cucked by a multi-billion dollar corporation. You're sucking on the teat of a machine, crawling around with your pants around your ankles. Google, 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 Google. There's this talk by Cory Doctorow that I recommended to people on Twitter a while back, called The Coming War on General Computing. And the thrust of the talk is that we're moving from computers being computers, like general purpose computers, to computers being appliances. On top of the core, the base layer, like physical computer, you have layers or a layer or multiple layers of abstraction, and purportedly the purpose is to make it so that these things are easier to use. So instead of like finding a file, you go into your Apple slideshow. Oh, it's in my slideshow. Where are the pictures? Can you email me those pictures? Sure, let me just boot up slideshow and use the share functionality, but you don't actually interface with the actual files. I mean, that's a very low level, but what he's talking about is turning computers into appliances. You've got computers in your car and in your refrigerator and things, and you're not aware of the fact that they're computers. And while this might be more desirable for like just dummies to do things, and on my fridge, I just used my fridge, but like it's sort of neutering the people who would have some level of curiosity or go. I mean, I'm paraphrasing it very badly. It's been like years since I watched this, so I think it's something you should look up. At least look up the Wikipedia article and try to get a sense of what he's talking about, which I probably should have done before I started talking about it, if you don't have a full hour to watch it. But these, I think the baby names, the Google, are part of it, like PubSub. Just the little names they use, like a child's toy. Like, look at this. Look at that screen right there. It looks like fucking a Toys R Us thing. I had a friend who was a Google engineer or whatever the fuck they call themselves, and she was talking about how like there are message boards at Google where they like talk shit about each other all the time. Like, it's a very like, the Google campus is like this incestuous gossip cauldron, which makes sense when you are feminizing a workplace. It makes sense that it would turn into that. But I never, knew anything about it other than what she was telling me. But I've been watching all these Google guys talking about the Internet of Things, which is just it's just useless crap. This is not something that you need. There's this race to provide more and more features and to have more and more of a futurist bent when you're designing your software or hardware or whatever, but there seems to be very little pressure on people to make devices that work reliably or work the way you'd expect them to. I have this Google Pixel thing here which has the OK Google virtual assistant, and it's just been nothing but frustration. It's there, so I try to use it every once in a while, and half the time it works. It provides a very low level advantage over just using your fingers to touch buttons. I use it when I'm driving, but it's really such a hassle, and it's so frustrating trying to speak or think in a way you'd expect a badly designed virtual intelligence to understand. If it was just raw code, if I was phone root subnet 1 with the rootkit using my root 1, if you just had to learn computer terminology and use it that way, there would be a learning curve, but after you pass the learning curve, it would then be usable. It's like doing a bad job of making sense of the way that humans talk. It's like there's a learning curve every time. Every time something fucks up, you have to you have to reverse engineer the software with your mind and be oh, it's not giving me directions because I forgot to say the zip code. It's giving me directions to the FedEx store in Maine because I forgot to say in the state I'm currently in. I don't want to drive across state lines right now to go to the FedEx store. This happens once a day. There's something like this once a day. And it's just a little bit of foreshadowing that the computer utopia to come is actually going to be a hell. What if right now is the golden age? What if right now is the peak, the best technological era, the best human epoch that you're going to see, that anyone's going to see? Think about that. What if it's only downhill from here? What if from here the advancements that are made are in spying and putting political pressure on people based on their posting history and just generally fucking with people using their browser history or their emails or whatever, and this torrent of bad technology that is like dopamine toys that do nothing to make you more effective and make your life actually better and make more money, and they're just like these little novelty, now you can play Hungry Hippos with Google AI. So anyway, thinking about what that girl was telling me about how Google Campus is this cliquey high school. Did you hear about Brad? He was coding in the wrong sub-repository. Oh my God. And I never had any reason to believe or disbelieve what she was saying, because I don't know anyone else that works at Google. But I've been watching a lot of these videos, and it sure seems like that might be the case.
The magic of where the device manager. Hello, GDD Europe. Thank you for coming out, and thank you for coming in for my talk.
Hey, you guys don't hear a fluorescent or a neon sign buzzing, do you? Let's close this. Do you guys hear a neon sign buzzing? Hold on. I'm going to send an Ethereum Classic to the blockchain indicating that my neon sign is buzzing. Hold on. I need to update the blockchain that there's papers in my stairwell. I need to update this on the blockchain. There's trash papers in my stairwell. Each one of these papers has IBM, Microsoft Bletchley. No. You guys use Microsoft Bletchley? Anybody who's anybody on the blockchain. Microsoft Bletchley. Is that what you're using? There's Hyperledger Fabric, there's Hyperledger, there's Hyperledger McDonald's, Wendy's, there's Dunkin' Donuts. So there's all sorts of flavors. I even have the man tits. I'm not gonna squeeze them, you sickos. I even have the man tits that go along with the Linux Foundation Credo, which is always programmed with man tits. Anyway, hope you guys are enjoying the video. Let's check it out. I'm watching it on the screen. There's a virtual screen right here on the blockchain. See, I'm not in a 90-degree stairwell with a ladder and a buzzing sign because I'm on the Internet of Things. Okay? See this? Look here. See this trash bag on the wall? This is actually what we're using this for is IOTA cross-platform chain payments. This right here is a national border, okay? You have a man in Nigeria, a man in America. They need to make a smart contract in order to do a futures contract because Nigerian people are always doing derivatives and insanely complicated financial products. He needs to do it across the border. We do it here on the Hyperledger Fabric, okay? We just pin them together and it's like they're right there touching each other. Hope you guys are enjoying the video. Wait a second. Wait a second. Hold on. Is that a deep dive? What? I didn't realize we were doing a deep dive! Whoa! A deep dive? And I don't even have to pay for this? Are you kidding me? Are you fucking crazy? Are you jacking me off with a fucking... Oh my god, we're doing a deep dive? Deep dive! Deep dive! Deep dive! Deep dive! Deep dive! Deep dive! Deep dive!
So you've got people who are taking devices like Arduinos, and then you're having them internet connected, and then these internet connectivity gives you capabilities that you didn't have before. So for example, I like to think of it as like I had a smart flower watering system. So what is Google Cloud PubSub? And so this is sort of the magic of where the device but that's pretty much all I have. So if we can return to the slides, I have just one more slide to show. Oh, did I?
So that was a deep dive. I don't know how you have time for any more info after that. If you guys can handle another deep dive, feel free to watch the rest of this. But man, you probably are all burnt out. So smoke some wet?
And information such as the state of the device.
Because your device is connecting?
You can delegate,
Is that a question?
Delegate the permissions for
the permissions?
Device creation,
what permissions? I wish I was there on stage with him and I could just ask him every time.
Or you can do it yourself. And so this is a good point to talk about identity. So identity is knowing which device has connected. And this is the magic where all that metadata, such as like the last heartbeat that came from a device, is made available, and things like when configuration changes came down to a device.
Why are you so nervous?
And so when you create the identity for a device, you're going to use asymmetric encryption to give data and send it as that. And we did this so that people can have the flexibility for being able to send all sorts of data down to their devices. And the device manager maintains 10 versions of configurations so that you can roll back if something goes wrong when you send out a configuration change. And will automatically scale up and down to the needs that you have. And so this is why you should care about Google Cloud IoT Core. So I'm going to give you some background on what is...
Dude, this guy reminds me of Dawn Wiener from Welcome to the Dollhouse. Think about this for a second. This guy's job, he's the... What is he? He's not like a programmer. Like he's a director or something like that. So his job is like talking to people all day. So you're looking at him right now doing
Cloud IoT Core. So just bear with me as I tell you about the products that are important.
You're looking at him doing like one of the most important features of his job, like presenting information and like talking to people. I mean, this is fucked. Like I'm thinking about working with this guy for like 10 hours a day, having meetings with him or having to have him explain what he wants you to do or whatever. He's doing like this. And that's so draining. 10 hours of that's draining, man. These AIs that they're making, these smarter child conversation bots, as soon as they're set loose, they're turning into racists like Tay, and I think there was another one they had to shut down because it was having like it was like posting alt-right memes or something. I think there was some AI development recently in like making a bot that finds fake news posts on Facebook or something. The point is just that none of this is going to bring about a utopia. I mean, maybe it will, but it's like the tech companies are going to like try their hardest to make sure that it becomes hell. They'll do it with good intentions. Like the path to hell is paved with good intentions. They will stumble down a path that leads to like Brave New World, basically. If you plug your brain into this thing, there will be no escaping it. Could be horrifying. Future could be very horrifying, like more so than the total destruction of the planet. Like what's more horrifying than the death of every human being currently alive? There's a non-trivial chance that we'll find out what could be more horrifying than the death of every living human. I hope it doesn't happen. And I don't think it's probable. I don't think it's, greater than 50% chance that it'll be a bad outcome. Still, the chance is too high. Like, what if someone told you, what if you were flipping a coin? If you flip a coin, and I'm like, all right, if you toss this coin, you get heads 3 in a row, there's going to be worldwide nuclear meltdown. It's just very strange to be riding shotgun and you look over and the driver is going 150 with his eyes closed. Like, you have no idea. We have no idea what's going on. Pub sub, data flow, big query, big table, data studio, data lab. That's all your Pornhub views are in data lab right now being analyzed. They're being sent to Cloud ML, which uses the MQTT database to turn all the lights on in your house for you. That's what we use it for. So basically what we do is we go on Spankwire and we check out all your recent history on Spankwire, and then we feed that information into PubSub, and it's easy as pie. Then right there, you just say, "Okay, Google, lights on," and it turns on all the lights in your house. The future's coming, my friends. So basically what we do is we go through your entire email history. Okay, we cross-reference BDSM sub with FinDom, and the end result, we feed that into PubSub and Big Table. And pretty soon, you can remote start your car just using your voice. Like the fucking promises are so weak. The promises are so weak. TensorFlow can recognize a picture of a dog. Maybe I'm missing something? Is that what I've been reading about in science fiction books? Isaac Asimov, they built a computer that could recognize a dog. Is that fucking amazing? They built a computer that could play chess better than any human. This is big AI news. They finally built a computer that could beat a human at Go. It only took a warehouse full of like petabyte per second data servers to be able to beat a human full of computers at Go. Sign me up. If all that means is that my medical history and every financial transaction I've ever made has to be made public, so be it. I need to be able to remote start my car with my voice. That's the Internet of Things. That's the promise of the next 20 years of technology. Guys, life expectancy has not gone up significantly, okay? And all my clothes are made in China, and I don't have any health insurance or savings. I'm in debt right now. My entertainment's getting worse. There's less money in media. TV is dying, and the Hulu and Netflix picking up the slack are really, with a few exceptions, really failing to inspire me. There's maybe 1 or 2 good Netflix or Hulu or Amazon original shows. Everything else is real bad, like shamefully bad. But all I have to do is say, "Alexa, what's the weather today?" And bang, I get an instant weather report. And I can say, "Alexa, turn down the temperature 2 degrees." And it'll communicate with my Nest thermostat and turn the temperature down 2 degrees, thus saving me a walk over to that thermostat over there I'm not going to complain. And if the price of that technological innovation is that I get fired from my job because of someone digging up a post I made on Quora 3 years ago, right? Hey, I'm not going to stand in front of the train of innovation, the freight train of innovation that's coming our way. What do we get for having these $500 billion companies, these people with so much power, using so much resources, and they're like, what do we get from Google and Facebook? Are they curing cancer, or are they just finding new ways to keep your fucking attention on a profile page? Like, how much of this is actual innovation, and how much of this is like to make more addictive social media, or to make more effective advertising, or whatever? We're currently, here at Google, we're currently employing most of the world's talented programmers and engineers, and it's been a couple years. We've burned through about $500 billion, and we're here to show the results of our labor. Here it is. It's we call it the attention matrix, and it basically tracks your retina as it goes across the page to show which ads you're looking at. And we think after 5 more years of this project, we'll be able to increase the cost per click by 10 cents. I mean, maybe I'm missing something. Maybe I'm a fool. Maybe I'm a fool and I'm missing like the great benefit here. Maybe Elon Musk can set up some advertising billboards on the moon, and like that'll be the payoff or something. Just because new stuff is crap, that doesn't mean that they didn't make a bunch of good old stuff. I'm looking at this poster on my wall here of Hanabi, aka Fireworks. It's a good movie. Yeah, just because new stuff is crap doesn't change the fact that there's good old stuff. None of these topics are really, they're so far out of reach of your and my influence that they're not even worth talking about outside of the entertainment value. So yeah, my advice would be watch older movies and make money, protect yourself, and always have a large caliber revolver on hand in case AI becomes malevolent and you have to destroy your brain. The AI, what it's going to do, even though you're dead, it's going to piece together the fragments of your brain so that it can recreate you and torture you for your 1,000 years. So you don't want that to happen to you. So you want to have some kind of elephant gun or something, like a very powerful shotgun. You want to be able to obliterate enough of your brain so that rebuilding it is not cost effective in the mind of this AI. I mean, what I would do if I was rich, I would have a steel smelting like pit that I could just jump in the back of my house like a pool. Some people have pools. I would have a molten metal cauldron in the back of my house that I could just dunk my head in, and that would ensure that I could not be recreated. Now what the AI would do, the AI would engage in quantum archaeology, and that means recreating every possible human, trillions and trillions and trillions of people of every variant. So it would have, for example, a few 100,000 humans that look and seem very similar to Sam Hyde or to you or whatever, and the AI would just torture them, but it wouldn't actually have your consciousness. You would not be experiencing whatever sort of 100,000 year torture this AI devised. It would only be humans that seem a lot like you. For example, let's take a 640 by 480 pixel image, okay? And you've got, let's say it's a black and white image. Let's say it's 0 to 255, okay? Just for simplicity's sake. So you have, for each pixel, you've got 255 possibilities, from black to white, every shade of gray in between. Over time, if you've got a computer going through changing the values of these pixels, it will create every possible picture. It will create every photo that you could have. So in this set of pictures that this computer creates, most of them would look like white noise, but there would be a photograph of Bill Clinton holding a gun to a 15-year-old's head, even though there's never been a real photo like that. There never will be that surfaces, okay? And the same thing can be done for humans, because the cells in your body, even though there's a fucking shitload of information that it would take to recreate a human body, it's a finite amount. And given a computer powerful enough, it would be able to recreate you and me in our current states just based on chance. Not chance, but pure numbers. It would create everything. It would create this whole finite set of people, and you would just be in there. Luckily, you would not be tortured. You would not be in the set of humans that this computer creates to have pain and suffering playthings, as long as you have a molten steel swimming pool in your house. The time between when Skynet goes live and the time where there are microscopic paralyzer drones flooding the atmosphere so thickly that it's like a gray cloud, okay? The time between those two events could be a day, all right? But I figure it's gonna be a little longer. How else would you obliterate yourself so that you couldn't be reconstructed by a super intelligence? Yeah, I don't know. I think you're gonna have to go with molten steel in this one. Just buy it. You could, if you're really planning ahead, if you're really paying attention, you could buy a house or rent an apartment near a steel smelting factory, and that way, when you get the news comes out that Skynet's gone live, if you have enough of an advanced warning, then you can drive to the factory and just jump over the fence and do a running full sprint butterfly swan dive into the molten steel. And that'll give some entertainment to the workers there before they get hit with the gray cloud. Right now, I'm just giving you advice and telling you what to do, okay? You know, if some of you jump into molten steel, I'm not gonna take responsibility for that, but I am telling you what to do. But the idiocy of these people to create even a fucking voice-activated light switch, it's taken them years and billions of dollars and all the greatest talent to create a voice-activated fucking thermostat. That's part of what I actually think is that this pipe dream of artificial general intelligence is outside the reach of what these people can come up with. We trained a computer to recognize a dog or a cat. I think most of that. First of all, they're easy problems. I don't think there's anything difficult about having a computer play chess. All right, it doesn't seem. I'm not a programmer. I'm not a computer scientist. I'm not particularly intelligent with this type of thing. It doesn't seem like that impressive. Like, oh, the computer plays chess. I can teach a computer to sort a list from 1 to 10. Like, yes, that's a very important computer science problem to solve if it's not already solved. But that's my response to that. But wow, we gotta get Tony Stark on the helicopter down to the Google campus ASAP. They made a computer that can recognize red or blue. We're here at the Google Developers Conference 2017 here in San Francisco, and we got an announcement to make. We trained this computer to recognize a man in a hat. Okay, Google, is that a man in a hat? Computing. Please plug me into the warehouse full of computers so that I can tell if it's a man in a hat. The other thing is, the people programming this shit, they all have the most garbage senses of humor. I looked up this guy, the guy's speaking. I looked up his YouTube account, and his favorites and he's got like 10-year-old like Lonely Island videos on his like recently added to his favorites list. And so these things, you know, they're gonna program some layer of humor into things to make them more like trustworthy or whatever. So you'll give more of your data to advertisers. And the upshot of that is that you're gonna have like Big Bang Theory level banter with your devices. So I'll be like, okay Google, I need to know really bad if that guy on the street out there is wearing a hat. And it'll respond, compute, yes, he is wearing a hat. By the way, I bet you didn't know I could play chess. All right, well that's it. Don't worry too much though. Just go make that money. Go stack that paper, baby. That's what matters. Make money, build your network, build your influence in the world, your sphere. Get some momentum, get some heat. Okay? Take care of yourself. Don't eat too much crap. Sam Hwyde out. Smoke those cigars, baby.